parçayı bitireyim dedim.
How are you guys? Are you fine?
Still alive.
Still alive. Another day. I hate winter and cold weathers.
Winter is great. It's not.
I don't know why I feel good today. Possible.
Okay. So, is there anything that you want to speak about today?
No idea.
Really?
Bu ses ne
The
ya?
same system, the same
Air
scenario.
ventilation is working. Air ventilation.
Anladın değil
The
mi?
air ventilation is working from in different class. Do you want to stop that?
Niye?
Please go and say stop it. Yes, in that.
No, it's here in our class.
No, in that class. I in that class.
Ders var mı içeride?
Sen gir içeri ya.
I don't care. Just go and stop it.
Buradan kapanmıyor mu?
Not
There's,
işte.
I think there's a wind coming from pipe. Duct, from duct.
Wrong.
Duct. D-U-C-T. Canal.
Okay.
I
But
think. It is not wind, no? Really?
because they stopped it. Anyway, so another week passed and we are still alive
Yes.
in this.
Work to life.
Huh?
Work to life. I'm working to life.
Yes, we work to live, not live. I see. And what else? Any specific thing that you're thinking about these days? No?
No. We just coding.
Huh?
We just coding, right coding.
Calling?
Coding.
Colleague.
Coding.
What do you mean?
Coding. Code.
Coding.
Ne demek?
Computer
Write
software
codes.
Coding.
developing,
Code.
developer.
Yeah.
You say calling.
Coding.
Coding.
No,
Okay.
he said coding.
Yeah.
Software developer.
I see.
Yeah.
Are you good at it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How long have you been working on that?
I guess 5 years.
For 5 years.
5 years. Yeah.
So did you study it at university or you just learned it by yourself?
Yeah. At university.
University.
Yeah.
Yeah, which university? I forgot.
Mahmut Kemal University in Tekirdağ.
Mm-hmm. Was that online or
No.
you were there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I see, face to face. Which one is better, face to face or online?
Face to face.
Face to face teaching.
Why?
Because we don't understand anything online.
Okay, but why?
We can focus. Teacher, I think. When online, I listen online anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't focus.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But the question is, why can't you focus?
Teacher, we are sleeping on the bed and we are listening.
I know how the system is. Because COVID happened 2 years ago, and in this American culture, we had to just transform and change the whole face-to-face education into online education. And I remember how terrible the system was. Everybody, cameras off. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they just enter the class and then they go. Microphones off, cameras off. I don't know. I mean,
Need to touch.
Touch. Touch what?
yeah.
Yeah. Need to feel. Yeah.
Is that
feel.
football? Like need to touch, need to feel.
Face to face.
Maybe basketball.
Football.
Yeah, it is your best.
So, yeah, somehow I can say online education is not okay for Middle Eastern countries.
Yes.
Definitely not.
Why Middle Eastern, teacher?
That why question is a good question.
Least technology
Huh?
equipment. less technology equipment.
No. Everybody has got internet. Everybody has got telephone. So, technology, lack of technology, specifically talking about Istanbul, specifically talking about American culture or these kind of schools, is not the excuse, in my opinion. So the problem is something else. Then, okay.
Because people got used to study in the class. People study in the class every time.
Okay, let me ask you a good question. You're right. Let me challenge you with a good question. You know, a couple of years ago, people used to use the telephones. I mean, remember the big Nokia or Sony Ericsson? Okay? And people used to just, dial the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but then a kind of new technology came and people adapted themselves with that technology. Right now, if somebody says, just let me take your telephone and give you a kind of old telephone, can you just accept it?
No.
Why?
It is more comfortable.
It is much more comfortable
useful.
and because you adapted yourself. I mean, we adapted ourselves to the changes, to the novelties.
And it is difficult to change it.
Yeah, it is so difficult to change it. Now, let's say for education, it has been the same and cliche. You know, teacher, okay, student, chair, desk, notebook, pen, pencil, whiteboard, book. Nothing has changed. So if there's a kind of change, imagine, for example, I don't want to be that much futuristic, but in 10 years, in 20 years, I think there wouldn't be any schools. There wouldn't be, in my opinion.
Why?
Because changing. Because going to school, coming back to your home will take time and money and energy. But if you have enough equipment, imagine this class is going on, but in much more futuristic way. For example, we have holograms. For example, hologram, I don't know. So everybody is here. We can change the background, you know, and the classroom and decoration.
Metaverse.
For example, yes, metaverse is a newbie.
Possible.
Metaverse is a newbie. It will improve, in my opinion.
Teacher, I don't think so because our family don't accept this. We won't go to school. This is difficult for our mothers.
That is true. Yes, poor mothers, they know what monster they have brought up inside the house. But, you have to. You have to change. There is no other alternative. Otherwise, you will, stay the same in the system, and complaining about the system is nothing, will not work, in my opinion. But if you want to have a change, you have to do what? You have to change. You have to adapt yourself. Yeah.
I won't think it.
Why?
I am 42 years old.
No problem.
10 years later, 52.
A couple of years ago, I saw a couple tourists. They were coming from United Kingdom. I forgot the country, maybe from UK. From England, and they were 70 years old. 70 years old. They say, I talked to them, and then they say that we are just traveling around the world.
Because they are not from Middle East.
Okay, so the age is not. So the problem is somewhere else.
The problem is our culture.
Fantastic. You will live longer than me. The
Problem
problem
is
is culture. Yes.
culture.
Cultural
That is
thing.
my idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because we are not able to changing our culture or can I say our habits.
Hmm.
We are against to development.
Absolutely.
That is the main problem, in my opinion.
That is totally right. Totally correct. For those people who are into technology and improvement, okay, they can adapt themselves. For example, let's say you are kinda software engineer, so somehow you are definitely related to technology. If there is a new platform, how are you? If there's a new platform, you can easily adapt yourself because you know the minimum thing, like the basic things of technology. But what about the rest of the country? Can they adapt themselves? Are they ready to adapt? There are level by level, in my opinion. First, you have to be ready. If you are not ready, you cannot.
Maybe future
Yeah.
could use that technology. Maybe.
Future, but future is right now. You have to start it from today. If you haven't done anything today, future will never come. Agree or disagree?
Agree?
Agree.
Arada şey, average.
Between.
Between.
We need to improve our
Mentality,
sides.
perspective, mindset. Lots of
We
things.
just need it.
For example, students say, it is boring or I cannot concentrate. But the question is why? Why can't you concentrate? You're the same person, the same teachers, teaching the same subject. So what is the problem? I don't think that technology is the problem for that. Maybe the problem is something else.
Maybe could destroy that word.
For me, it is not acceptable. For me, it is not acceptable to bring excuses that because I cannot concentrate, I hate it. Poverty creates success. To be honest with you, poverty means to be poor. To be poor can make you a successful person.
Suffer.
Absolutely. The minimum example is like football players. Generally. Not all, but generally. Looking at Pele, looking at Cristiano Ronaldo,
They are not coming
Messi.
from rich families.
absolutely. They fought.
Sometimes rich, sometimes kaka.
Yes, Maradona, for example, from rich family, but generally speaking, they come from poor families. I mean, poverty.
Brazil and
Brazil.
South America.
From
Africa.
For
General.
example, footballers or players from Africa.
Yeah. For example, football players, look at the artists, look at lots of successful people. I don't have presence of mind right now, but they're generally coming from poverty. Poverty means not enough infrastructure, not enough education, they cannot access, education. How can I say, technology, these kind of stuff effectively, but they are successful. In other words, one of my best friends, maybe he is hearing right now, has learned playing violin through YouTube. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Telephone,
Yes.
screen is small, putting and learning from YouTube. He didn't pay any penny. In English they say penny, you say kuruş.
Yeah.
He didn't pay any kuruş for courses. So it is boring, I cannot concentrate. For me, it is not.
I
A
can
good
make
excuse.
cook.
Lots of things. Yeah, I'm just talking about the reality, the real examples. There are lots of examples.
True.
If you want so much, you can do.
You can. You know, there is a kind of not expression, kind of saying. I always try to remember it. Sometimes I forget. It says, if there is a will, there is a way.
Teker varsa yol var. Gibi anlam.
Understand what happened? If there is a will,
Teker varsa
there is a
Yes. True.
way.
yol vardır. I don't know it's meaning in Turkish.
What is will?
Teker,
Teker.
tekerlek. Tekerlek.
Car.
Wheel.
No.
Aa,
Will.
Şart demek değil mi?
Will means tendency. If you want something, you will. You have a will.
Ha, istek varsa.
ha, wheel.
That is wheel.
Wheel.
Wheel, yes. W-H-E-E-L.
Want mı? Want will say.
Yes, yes. Stronger than want. I told you before, sheer will. Remember? Sheer will. John Wick, sheer will.
Yes.
You want to do something very much. That is a will. So if there is a will, there is a way.
Right.
If there isn't any will, there isn't any way. Very simple.
True.
So, the education, you know, this thing, for me, is, I mean, it is not a good excuse. For me, it is not a good excuse. If you cannot concentrate, maybe the problem is within yourself. Maybe, I don't know. What is the problem? Your environment, your family, your psyche.
We can't beat our comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Because I think we don't need a struggle for improving ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. And exactly, you know, the modernism brought lots of good things, but at the same time, lots of bad things.
There is Turkish idiom, same, similar. The want, half past success.
Half of the success.
Yeah.
Wanting is half of the success.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. You have to want something, no, to be able to succeed.
İstemek değil.
İstemek başarının yarısıdır.
Believing. İnanmak.
İstemek de.
İnanmak başarı. Anyway, no problem.
But it's not enough to believe in yourself or to
Wait.
one up.
For me, this is enough.
It's not enough. I want a car. I should do something to buy this car.
Okay.
Yeah. If I stay every day in chair or and watching movie, the car is my dreams.
You can this because if you are saying always I want a car, in the future you have this. Really? Vallahi ben
Continue.
denedim. I tried teacher.
Only English.
I tried but not car. Not for car. I don't want to explain this but I tried and I have it.
You know, first you have to want something, then you have to work for that.
I think teacher, our brains, if we are use this brain, we are create our future.
Money, where will money come for?
Because our brain is fascinating teacher.
Okay,
Yes.
but you have to find a way to deal with it, to find your goals, to find a way how to reach your goals actually.
I don't know teacher.
You know, level by level, stage by stage. First you have to want something, then you have to work for it, then you can reach to that thing.
It can be teacher.
Only one thing is not. I said if there's a will, there's a way. You have to find a way. Right? So the excuses for me are not tolerable. Not tolerable.
Tolerable.
I cannot tolerate it. Do you know tolerate?
Tolerance.
Okay.
You know, able means can.
Okay.
For example, this water is drinkable,
İçilebilir.
which means that I
Yapılabilir.
can drink it.
Tolerance tanınabilir. Able. Okay.
Do you have any specific experience with this thing in your life that you wanted to do something and you did, or you didn't reach to your goal, let's say?
Yes.
Mhm.
At university, I usually didn't study my lessons, and exam night I believe
Yes.
and I
Study
Study
in one night.
and I won. All of time I won.
This is Middle Eastern, basically.
Yes, totally right. But if you believe, you can do it.
How can you study on a book like this in the night?
It's about your believing.
Believing.
System.
That's page interesting. Really?
I could do it for every time.
It happens a lot in universities.
No, in my university, no.
But
I just recognized someone who succeeded like this,
Mhm.
but he was a
A maniac.
mania or genius, maybe.
Ah, genius. Maybe he's a genius.
So we have to work, study always. Maybe how can I say, our departments are different. Make it that is the main.
Yeah,
solution.
maybe, yes. The subject matters that they are
Yeah.
studying can be different.
Before I analyzed my topic's name, and it can be, yes. Selection.
Gamble.
I select-
Gambling, yes.
Like gambling.
Life is
I
like
won
Yeah, I know.
for every time.
You want to gamble.
Yes.
No, it's not gamble. I think it's experience.
Experience.
Teacher said everything complex. Life complex. Discuss.
We talked about it before.
Yeah.
You remember I told that life is gamble, you said no it is not,
Yeah.
and we talked about it. Of course.
No, I'm an engineer. We had lots of subjects for an exam.
Yeah.
And
Practical ones.
Yeah, for example, we had lots of calculations
Mhm.
and also
I
Measurements.
types or questions, and it was not possible for me.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer.
Yeah, I know.
I
I'm a
agree.
mechanical engineer, and we had a book, for example, like this,
Yes.
and it is not possible to study a night.
Actually, it is possible.
How can it be possible?
You don't have to study all of that for exam.
You know,
If you have a crazy teacher, you need to study everything.
You must
No
analyze
hard working,
your
smart
teacher.
working.
You must analyze your teacher in his or her system.
yes, mentality,
Yes.
perspective, and also what to do actually, what to
Yes.
do, what not to do.
You must read your teacher.
Yes.
Uh,
Everything is
he
possible.
explains everything on the board, but he asks us the
Different.
exam different.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, how can I explain you? We had a lesson named vehicle aerodynamics.
Mhm.
For example, he explained us a tunnel with, for example, 4 corners maybe, but he asks in the exam with 9 or 10 corners.
Hmm.
And you need to improve your calculations.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, it is not the same questions
With the book, yeah.
with book or with notebook. He or she never asked a question from notebook. He is just a guide for you.
Yes.
Maybe you can just guess maybe a few subjects from it.
But mainly, you can't.
No, you know, for example, I guessed a few easy questions, but generally I used to study.
Study hard. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, generally, you have to study your subject matters throughout the term, and you should not let your subjects to be compiled. Understand? In that case, yeah, it is possible to just review your notes and study properly and just get a good mark. in the
Yeah, for example,
examination.
how can I explain? If you study daily, etc. it
Yes,
is
throughout
possible
the
to be
term,
successful.
because you're studying, it means that you are reviewing the subjects and your notes, so you have a better presence of mind. So whenever something new, not new, I mean, whenever you are trying to think about some subjects, you start to remember them because you have already reviewed them a lot. Yeah, possible. And I basically follow this technique in my normal classes. You know it.
In spite of I was not a hardworking student,
Yeah.
I used to study.
Exactly, you have to study. You study, review in order to remember.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why we are studying. Because we forget. Use it or lose it. Because we are not using those facts a lot daily, we lose them. So we need to review them again and again. That's why. Right? Absolutely.
But I usually don't remember two topics I said for university. I usually don't remember two topics for daily study.
Mm-hmm.
But if exam will tomorrow, and if I study to exam at that night, I usually don't forget it. I like stressfully. I like
Last night.
stressfully.
Yeah, me too.
Last minute student.
Yes.
Last minute.
Huh?
Last minute.
Last minute. You too?
And we passed teacher.
I mean, passing is meaningless.
We are here.
Passing is meaningless. I mean, there are lots of problems. I don't want to open that door. I am sick and tired of speaking the same thing. But the point here is we learn to earn.
Yes, teacher.
That's why people go to university.
We
They try
must-
to learn so that they can earn.
Yes, teacher. We must understand mentality, teacher.
Yeah,
Smart work, not hard work.
absolutely. It depends. It depends on how you have noticed. Yeah,
Excitement is good.
it's good. Yeah, kind of football match. Penalty kickouts, shootouts, and
If you are winner, no problem. I think.
hmm?
Result is important. I
Result
think.
is important. But at the end of the day, you can see that your degree is piece of paper. It's nothing.
Yes, you are right.
Really.
So-
Because whatever you study in university, okay, it shows that this is your degree or diploma degree, okay?
Yes.
This degree is needed, but when you face the real life or reality, you see that, oh my God, totally different. What I studied in university doesn't help.
Only people.
We know
Only
that.
paper.
We know that, so we don't study. We didn't study.
Yes,
Yeah.
teacher.
Unfortunately.
My before boss,
Previous.
previous boss, he didn't go.
Look at your degree. Yes.
Yes, teacher. He didn't school. He goes school, and but he
Boss.
he be boss, yeah, and he's working.
Worker. Yes.
Worker, yeah.
Genelde öyle.
Unfair. This is totally unfair because whatever we are valuing in life is only our perspective. Sometimes it doesn't help. Because I value something, it doesn't mean that that is the reality. Let's say because we value that this diploma, this certification, this degree is important, doesn't mean that in reality it is really important. It doesn't mean that this is my imagination. I valued it. I valued that. Understand what am I talking about? I'm too tired for philosophy today, but yeah.
We need real life.
Real life, yes. What happens in reality is different. Totally. Yes?
Yes, teacher, totally I agree.
Totally.
Yes, teacher.
But I want to say
When you apply a job, teacher, they don't ask a degree or what, which your school graduate.
Yes.
Just say what do you want, what do you know.
Yes. What can you do?
Yes, what?
What are your skills? What are your abilities?
Yes.
Okay. And you want to say
I
something?
want to say something.
Yes, say something.
Yes.
What is that something?
For example, I played the best enjoyable games at that exam nights. It's wonderful.
Like what?
I had so stressful, so stress, and I must study, but I don't want to. I didn't want to study. For example, any trash games at PC. For example, Super Mario.
That is not trash.
For example,
Yes.
That is not
okay, but
trash.
It's good Super Mario.
basic
Yeah.
games,
Okay.
old games, so old. But I don't.
Nostalgic.
Super Mario, for example, at that night, the best enjoyable games for that night. But next day, you don't want.
Exactly.
You don't
Yes.
want
It depends on your psychology.
the psychology, yes.
Try Street Fighter.
That's right.
No problem.
And
Anyway.
one simple, correction is like it is not enjoyable, it is joyful
Joyful.
or enjoyable.
Okay. Thank
We
you.
have two words, yes, enjoyable or joyful.
I'm mixed.
That's okay. Yeah. What else? Any other experiences with that? That in your life you wanted to do something and you did it. No? You're very young. That's normal. Nothing? Really? In your life you didn't want anything? Or you haven't wanted anything in your life?
I arrived every my target.
You reached
No,
to your
reaching, enough.
almost.
Enough money.
No. You reached your targets.
Yes.
I see. But still, there is no limitation in life, in targets. You want more.
Last
more.
day learn with you. Saturation point.
Saturated. You're saturated.
Saturation point is this.
I see. Again, if this cup of water or whatnot is saturated, you can just put it aside and find a new one and try to saturate that thing. So it is unlimited. It never ends. Right?
My limit low.
Down.
Okay. That is different story. That is the matter of preference or your preferences. That is not the matter of the reality, because you don't want extra targets in your life. That's why.
There is diet.
Your diet finished.
There is diet. So less working.
I understand. Okay. You?
I wanted to play SAS, bağlama,
Mhm.
and I did it, and I'm wanting now playing better
Mhm.
than now.
Mhm. Okay.
That's all for now.
I see. There are some
We are
small
very,
goals.
We are very
Yeah.
young teacher.
Yes, you're young, but you have to have your goals ready because today you have technology, you have internet, guys. My generation didn't have. His generation, of course, didn't have. So these are limitations. Uh, I wish when I was a kind of high school student, I wish I had internet. We had internet actually. It was very simple, like the Google, Yahoo. I mean, nothing. Google, okay. It wasn't that much complex or sophisticated, but today it is. Today, if you are looking for something, you can easily reach out. Easily reach out.
ICQ.
Lots of things, you know. You can find out the answers for your questions or something that you want to do in the future. Generally, when I ask the question from high school students, I say, "What is your goal?" Teacher, I don't know. That is problem.
I remember to ask the babies.
Yeah, exactly.
People.
So you're young, but you're lucky somehow because you have technology under your control. But the point is how you can use that. People don't use. That is very tragic.
I agree to you, teacher.
Agree with.
I agree with you. My second mistake.
Exactly. It's possible. Mistakes are unavoidable. You know, I talked about this million times. So I don't have time right now. You know, we have fluency, we have accuracy. These are two different concepts. Fluency, accuracy. Do you know this stuff?
Yeah.
I told you to write down the question and ask me in the speaking club. When I say, do you have any question? No. Really, write this and ask me. I can help. I can talk about it and you can learn. Fluency and accuracy are two different concepts in let's say speaking in any kind of language.
Yes.
Very quickly, fluency means to be fluent. What is fluent? Means you don't have lots of gaps when you speak. Gap means these are gap. There you don't make lots of sound a lot, so you speak fluently. Fluency doesn't mean that you have to speak fast. Speed is not the case. Everybody has got a specific speed or pace or tempo or rhythm actually in speaking. Rhythm. Maintain that rhythm. Don't try to be fast. No. Try to maintain that rhythm. Imagine that you are a kind of drummer. Drum. And you're maintaining the same rhythm until the end of the music. Whatever the pace or tempo is, it can be very slow, it can be very fast, but you have to understand. So my recommendation is you can maintain your speed slowly, but fluently, without lots of A couple of them are okay because sometimes the questions are very difficult. Even if somebody asks the same question in Turkish or in your mother language, difficult question, you need some time to think about it, so you automatically you're thinking. These are the gap that you're not producing any language, so you're thinking about the answer of that. That is okay, a couple of them, but a lot of them means that you are not fluent. You have to practice more. On the other hand, accuracy comes from the word accurate. It means that accurate means, for example, let's say you're 100% accurate. It means that you are perfect, you don't make any grammatical mistakes. This is accuracy. If you want to have both of them, you have to make a lot of effort. It is almost impossible for non-native speakers to be fluent and at the same time 100% accurate. And when I say accuracy, it is much more difficult than being fluent. Why? Because accuracy doesn't mean only grammar. Accuracy means your pronunciation, your diction, your intonation, your stress, your pronunciation. Did I say that? Your everything, the correct usage of words and vocabulary, the correct usage of idioms and whatnot. You cannot just talk whatever you want. You have to be able to use that specific expression, idiom, proverb, whatnot properly. This is accuracy. So, if you want to have both of these weights at the same time, your brain definitely explodes. But native speakers do it automatically and naturally.
For example, me, teacher.
For example, you. They do it automatically and naturally because they're native speakers. So, my recommendation is choose one of them. Not two of them, choose one of them to be accurate or to be fluent. Generally, people who are perfectionists, who are shy, they want to be accurate. Why? Because they don't want to be judged by others. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh my God, Make a mistake, that's okay. Follow fluency. That is the best recommendation. Follow fluency. Be fluent. If you want to be fluent, forget about mistakes. You will make mistakes.
Relaxed, teacher.
Exactly. Forget about mistakes. You will make mistakes. Everybody does. Makes mistakes. So you are possibly on the verge of making mistakes at any time or everywhere. So follow fluency. Speed up. Speak up.
Don't use break.
What do you mean?
Break.
Break.
Break. Yeah.
No, you speak. Sometimes if you have to stop, you stop. Fluency, yes. Fluency, again, the word fluency is divided into two things. Like one is the rhythm, one is the intonation. If you have good rhythm and good intonation, you're fluent. What is rhythm? Like music. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Or maybe this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We have different speeds. You should find your speed when you speak. Generally, politicians, teachers, generally have to speak normal, with a normal speed, to be much more understandable, specifically politicians. Show me a politician who speaks very fast. Show me. You cannot. Word by word. Clearly. Correct? Clearly, word by word, they speak. This is fluency. And sometimes with lots of great enunciation, they speak. What is enunciation? Open the door and close. Understand? So, always you have to follow this. Understand?
Yes.
So you have to do a lot of things to master the language. Otherwise,
We fail.
yes, fail, but you can rise again. We talked before, there is no time. We don't have any concept of time philosophically. What is time? So because there is no time, but we have transition. we transform, we get older. But as long as we are capable, you can start it over, which means start it again. If you fail, you can start it over, no problem. No problem, you know. Germany in 2014 became the champion, right, in World Cup. Or 14, Germany.
Germany.
14.
14 teacher, 14.
14.
Yes, 14.
Became champion, but this is the other side of that, actually. It has been like 2 World Cups that they couldn't just ascend from the group. The champion cannot ascend to the next level, to the next stage. So the opposite side also can happen, which means that they try again, no problem. Not this World Cup, maybe next World Cup.
They are old teacher, old. Legends are old now.
Yeah, that the final World Cup maybe for them. Absolutely.
And it is for Messi and
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. In my opinion, this is their last tournament.
Absolutely. And others as well, like, hello, we will come. Like that. Okay. Understand?
Yeah.
Lots of things. Take care of yourselves. See you guys. Continue. Yeah, see one. Yes, robot. Absolutely.